Hey guys, Legal Lockpicker here. Welcome to today's episode. As you can see, we are going to check out these Stanley brand security 24/7 professional grade 50mm Rake brass padlock. So that's what we're going to do. This month we're giving away a Southport Pagoda set and some other cool things, but if you hang around till the end of the video, we'll get into all the cool giveaway stuff and how you can win them. And yeah, so make sure you hang out until then. So let's get into the good stuff. These I'm sure many of you have seen on eBay, Amazon, and things like that. These types of locks. This one is for all weather outside, and I guess you could say the same thing about this. If you've watched people pick in other videos, or if you're interested in them yourself, these are really heavy locks. They're very secure. The grading system is between 1 being the least secure and 6 being the most secure, and both of these fall on a 4. So we'll get into that at a later date. But for now, we're going to check out this brass one right here. Let's see, they come with, these are identical in that they both have the same key, so one key works for both locks. You can see in the picture on the back here that it's got the dual ball bearing system, so it can't be shimmed open very easily. It's got 6 pins. It says it's rekeyable, which was very difficult for me to do because I haven't done it yet, so that's probably why it's been difficult. It's got the plastic covering at the bottom there. It says it's good against drilling attacks and things like that, so why don't we crack these bad boys open and see what we're working with. So the reason why we're doing this is because I got an email from somebody who watches the channel. He's a subscriber, and he said, how do you rekey these? How do we open them, and why can't I rake these locks? So let's try to figure out the answer to that. We'll start with this one. If you take off the plastic covering here, I was looking for different ways to attack it, and I have so far come up short. Unfortunately, there's nothing under the cover that would lead me to believe that this could be opened in another fashion. However, if you do open this lock right here, the one that I'm struggling to open the covering for, here we go. You can see that, eventually you'll see. Do you see the difference in these two? The plastic covering makes it so it's harder to access the pins, and it doesn't make it any easier by having this rotating disc right there, which makes it even more difficult. So getting a tension wrench in here is difficult just to start with, but if you notice on this one right here, if I'm going to use the bottom of the keyway tension tool for raking it open, which was the difficulty, you can see that I have to battle with this part up here, so I have to give this much more clearance on the tool, which makes you overcompensate by pushing harder on the tension tool, which obviously makes it more difficult to pick. Now if you take that plastic part off, you can get flush with the lock. See, so it's a lot easier to pick like that. So obviously we're not going to be doing that way, so we're going to try it the other way first, difficult as it may seem. Alright, so we're going to use the bottom of the keyway tension tool here. We're also going to, this is the key, so this is the key bitting we're working with here. It's not bad at all. So it's deep here, so the first cut makes it so you have to get the ones in the back. So I am going to use this pick right here. This is a pick from Lockpickworld. They have their Praxis kit. This is a tool from that kit, and I'm using it in a 3D lock sport. They do 3D printed handles and cases and all that kind of cool stuff, but I'm using that for this particular lock because it gives me a better vantage point, so I can control the rake a lot easier. So, but when you want to rake this open, I wanted to make sure that the reason why I chose the rake from the Praxis kit is because it was stiff, and the points for the rake were a lot, this is going to sound weird, but they were a lot sharper. And it's hard for me to explain, but that's why I use this, because I needed that sharpness. And as crazy as it sounds, it's been working very well. And when I say very well, I mean this is a very difficult thing to do. So what we're going to do is use medium pressure here, push this disc over to the right, and we're going to stick the rake in here. So even though the pins are like this, we're actually going to be raking diagonal like that. So we're going to be raking upwards like this when the pins come like that. It sounds crazy, but that's really the only way we can do it. And if we're lucky, if we're very careful and we do strategic raking, which means we're pushing pressure at pin 6 and pin 5 and not the front of the stack. So hopefully that works. Now I know why people say this is difficult, because it is. Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the rake that I used. We'll get that bottom of the keyway tension tool out of here.